Before we start to seriously learn more about the European Union, let's play a game of true or false. This will be a fun way to find out some interesting facts about the EU. Game rules: think after each statement, decide if it's true or false, and then the correct answer will be revealed. Let's begin with a question which might be close to your heart. How many young Europeans do you think are going through an online course to enhance their knowledge and skills? I'll bet 1 in 10. True or false? If you agreed with our proposal, you were close. The share of young people who took an online course in 2015 was 9%, which is a bit under 1 in 10. Let's make this number bigger, shall we? Now let's think of formal education. Do you think it's true that the number of men and women who obtain higher education diplomas is equal in the EU? If you think the amount of women and men who have a higher education diploma is not equal, then you got this one right. Unlike employment rates, where women tend to be more affected than men, 27% of women have completed higher education, compared with 25% of men in 2015. The only exceptions are Germany, where the difference between men and women is the highest, Luxembourg, Austria, the Netherlands, and Greece. Tackling the EU's challenges in the field of equality between women and men is also one of the priorities of the Green Movement. Next question: how much money do you think your government pays to the European Union? Do you think it's true that the EU budget gathers 10% of the wealth generated by economies of its member states? If you thought the statement is false, you're right. About 1% of the wealth generated by member states' economies every year actually goes towards the EU budget. If you got this one wrong, it might be because the amount, 145 billion euros in 2015, is a large-sounding sum in absolute terms, although it only represents a small percentage of the total budgets of the EU's member states. Speaking of money, let's talk about shopping in the EU. Is it true that shopping for shoes is cheaper in Poland than in Denmark? This is true. The most expensive place in the European Union for food, clothes and shoe shopping is Denmark. It is much cheaper to go shopping in Bulgaria, Romania or Poland. However, it's not all about the price, but also about type and quality of consumption. For example, Denmark is one of the countries with the highest consumption of organic products in Europe. Okay, final question. Europeans live longer than the rest of the world. True or false? This is true. When compared to the world average, Europeans live longer, having a life expectancy of 78 years for men and 82 years for women. The only exceptions are Japan, Australia, and Canada. And since we're talking about age, most learners on this course are between 18 to 25 years old. We hope you had fun discovering these facts. We'll learn more about some of these aspects in the following stage of the course.